Prout, progressive utilization theory, in a nutshell, is a new socio-economic political philosophy that calls for all-round changes in our attitudes, lifestyles, socio-economic structures, public policies, leadership and education systems. Neohumanism is a philosophy and attitude of life based on universal love that helps us transcend narrow sentiments and embrace all animate and so-called inanimate forms of life as varied manifestations of divine spirit. 1. Neohumanist education is about expanding our awareness in order to free us from ill health and a stressful life, and moving towards a blissful life through a sentient lifestyle. It is more about reflecting upon our attitudes, living habits and worldview than striving towards mere political and economic power grabbing. This training needs to start with young children and be cultivated throughout one's life. 2. Neohumanist education is about a journey from scarcity to abundance for one and all, including other species. It involves alignment with nature, using green technologies, and using creativity to find solutions that utilize existing resources in most optimum ways for the good and happiness of all. 3. Neohumanist education is about educating for creating enlightened leadership, liberation of human intellect, and freedom from dogmas. It is about exposing the dogmas of science, rigidities of social systems, and irrational worldviews. 4. Neohumanist education is about replacing local vulnerabilities with greater resilience in all walks of life. The discourse of Prout-based education enhances the economic power of local communities and promotes regional self-reliance. 5. Neohumanist education is about tackling the challenge of historical social injustices, recognizing and eliminating the wide disparities in all walks of life, and urgently moving towards minimizing inequalities, especially in economic affairs. Diversity is healthy, but disparities increase social tensions and inhibit the optimum utilization of human potentials and collective wealth of humanity. Human existence is an ideological flow. It is a movement from crudity to subtlety, from imperfection towards perfection, from limited to unlimited, from unit to cosmic, from animality to divinity. An endeavor to control our instinctual tendencies and goad our mental faculties through reason, intellect and intuition towards universal welfare is the path of divinity. In this long spiritual journey from human minimitis to human maximitis, we may encounter many challenges or difficult choices that are called moral dilemmas. Moral dilemmas abound in our personal and collective social lives, irrespective of our area of work or profession. All of us, as parents, businesswomen, community leaders, or whatever roles we are in, are faced with common daily decisions that have some moral component. Should I do it or shouldn't I? Should I lie or tell the truth? Should I act now or wait? Should I support or oppose? We all face such questions in our minds. Some of our conscious choices affect just our near ones or ourselves, while others may affect a million others. The gravity of a moral decision varies with the nature of the impact of the decision and where we stand on the evolutionary ladder. For a cat, to catch a mouse is an instinctual behavior and not a moral choice. But for a human, to raise and kill animals for meat may involve a moral choice. In these days of epidemic viruses and ecological disasters, the invisible link and interconnectedness of all life is becoming more and more obvious. Yet ignorance and fear make a mockery of human attainments. Ignorance and fear are the twin companions of violence-ridden, troubled societies. Through dialogue based on facts and reason, genuine love and compassionate outlook, cosmic sentiment and applied rationality, we could transform the atmosphere of hatred and break the deadlock of aggression and frustration. Without compassionate dialogue, a display of ugly manifestations of human ego and vested interests will remain. Educationists can sow the seeds of this transformation. Learning must be for positive change, and it must be rooted in love. This is the challenge for educators. When we begin to make decisions based on the intrinsic impact of our decisions on our and others' physical, mental and spiritual well-being, it may be surmised that we have begun to tread the path of benevolence. The path of Dharma is the path of righteousness, and if we choose to recognize and follow it, the immediate reward is likely to be transcendence into an evolutionary elevated mental status, and the ultimate reward, at the least, is an untainted experience of life divine, endowed with all its perks like deep inner peace and enjoyment of goodwill and friendship of all fellow creatures who are benefited by our wise choices. The message of spiritual humanism as enunciated by Sri P.R. Sarkar is thus loud and clear. We need to return to connectedness with our common spiritual roots, which will drive away the menace of group or religious intolerance. We need to take our inner and outer ecology seriously so that we may continue to protect and preserve all biodiversity of the planet. We need to reverse the trends of pseudo-culture and profit maximization that fuel consumerism, violence, addiction, and apathy to our own welfare. We need to choose our leadership so that we may establish the primacy of service over self-interest, whether in politics, economy, religion, education, culture, science, or the arts. We need to spread the call to remold the socio-economic political framework so that sustainability initiatives can begin to bear fruits and multiply. In a nutshell, we need to make a collective moral choice to accept those ideals which will nourish the interest of all rather than a select few. This alone is the cornerstone from which we can solve the moral dilemmas of modern times. Are we ready to confront our own greed, our own drive for power and control, our own jealousies and temptations, our ignorance and doubts? This moral dilemma is all-pervasive and speaks not only to the leaders of society but to each one of us who willingly or unwillingly choose our lifestyles and our leaders. The call of our consciousness is to reflect and act with a refined moral conscience in mind. If we succeed in doing so, we may be laying the foundation of a new world. It appears to me that our task is threefold. 1. Choose, follow and propagate ideas that are in harmony with our divine nature. 2. Continue to empower individuals who wish to follow these ideas in their personal life. 3. Build institutions that are open to making moral strategic alliances for establishing and nurturing a progressive one-human society based on prima, universal love, and prama, balanced development/dynamic collective equipoise. Finally, towards these ends, we need to bridge the widening knowledge gap among people of all countries and continue to strive for excellence in order to hasten the creation of a world of abundance for all species, foster greater understanding and harmony among all beings, and ensure justice, freedom and peace for all.